Corruptions are just a click away. No, I'm not gonna do it. It's not, no, I'm just using, you know, I'm using my overclocked GBA. This particular overclocked GBA. Specifically so that I can, you know, get the better music. Because other overclocked GBA that was crunching up the music a bit. Alright, I can fly now. Punch! Anyway, yeah, we're jumping right back into this. It's been a little while since I got a chance to play this, and for a substantial amount of time. So, but we're making pretty good progress. A lot of the map is filled in, but there's quite a bit more. I just defeated like a big lad with big fucking big hands. Yeah, it was the hand boss of this game. You know, Nintendo loves their hand bosses, but Castlevania has plenty of them too. Konami put them hand bosses all over the place. So anyway, I want to tell you about some stuff. So it's freezing. Obviously, they're setting the railroads on fire in Chicago. It's not quite that cold in New York. But there was like a freak snowstorm for like 20 minutes. It was really bizarre. I was caught in it. I had to go to, I wanted to get some food, because tomorrow it's gonna be like 3 degrees. And I wanted to make sure I don't have to leave the house tomorrow if I don't want to. So I bought some food. I went to, you know, I went to Trader Joe's again. And, so I get there. Or I'm driving there, and suddenly, I can't see more than 20 feet ahead of the car. Maybe 15? And it's just a crazy freak snowstorm. And for like a good 10 minutes of me driving, you know, it was really bad. I was like, oh god, is this the next... I was like, if it keeps snowing like this, there's gonna be like a foot of snow on the ground in an hour. It was out of nowhere. Completely out of nowhere. And it was actually, like, the sun was out not too long before that for a couple minutes. So anyway, I get there at its worst. And then you know what? I go in, and then the fucking snow just stops. And then the sun's out when I walk out of the place. So that was really weird. Just a strange day. Still cold as fuck, and I'm actually really cold. I mean, I have the heat on and everything, but there's a certain level of cold that just permeates, as I've said before, and it's nowhere near negative 50 degrees or negative 44 like it is in some places, and I still feel it. It's crazy. But anyway, I bought some more frozen stuff because they have the good shit. And I noticed that they had a frozen lava cake. I don't know how they do this, but their frozen food is legit. And I got the frozen lava cake and I couldn't resist. It's fucking amazing. It was really good. It was real lava. I don't know how they froze it. It was just it was a rock cake in that case, yeah. But I got the, you know, there's another thing that I had from them that I liked. It was the chicken tiki masala. I just wish there was more of it. You get like 6 nugs, and that's it. Vinny vine blinded a sword. You talking about this one? I can't get that yet. Let me just hit up the save point. So yeah, it was so that was cool. I watched I just wanted to throw something on last night to fall asleep to, and I ended up getting into it. Fucking The Terminal. It's a Tom Hanks movie where he plays Russian or whatever. It's a Steven Spielberg movie, and it was just on HBO, which I have HBO Go. What does he play? He plays Krakozhia. It was a movie I watched 13 years ago, and I just threw it on. It was fine. It's entertaining. One thing I noticed, though, is that Diego Luna is in it, and he plays a character in Star Wars now. And Zoe Saldana is in it, and she plays a character in Star Trek now. And she's actually a Trekkie in the movie. So that was kind of interesting. Vinny, you need the succubus soul? Is this a succubus or a duccubus? Because there's a rubber ducky in this bath. Absorb enemies' HP when an ordinary attack is delivered. Wow. Well, I got really lucky. Oh, it was a cloak I got. I was wondering. It's extra defense and extra intelligence. It's pretty good overall. Throw that on. Oh, this is a really, really good soul. Oh, fuck, I got the beam skeleton beam, too. Now I can be a Nova Skeleton, taking away other people's rune swords. I'm still a little salty about that. Okay, so in Dawn of Sorrow, the more souls you collect, the more it levels up the soul, right? This game doesn't have that, right? You only need one in this game? Okay, so by the time they hit Dawn of Sorrow, they made it, they gave you a reason to grind even further. Thanks, Konami. It only affects Headhunter. And then in Portrait of Ruin, you could level up stuff by using it repeatedly and getting kills with it. So, like, you could make the cream pie a massive cream pie. Pardon? Okay. Okay, there are people that did not watch my Portrait of Ruin stream, and I feel like I have to explain this, so I'm going to explain this, and I'm going to say that in Portrait of Ruin, there's a soul, or there's an ability called Cream Pie, and you throw a cream pie. That's it. You just throw a pie. And you can level it up and get it massive. Oh, wrong button, sorry. Just sent a little bit too much power to the GBA. Go. Is the pie effective against the succubus? Isn't there a naughty nurse enemy that you can cream pie? Okay, I know what you guys are doing. And I'm gonna ask you kindly to stop. And the answer is yes. Any enemy in that game can be cream pied, naughty or otherwise. So stop. How dare you? This is a, Jehovah's Witness stream. Ability to swap HP and MP of enemies. That seems... I don't know, that seems really useful. That seems like it could go from regular useful to amazingly useful. Let's try it on a Minotaur. Holy shit, dicks! Wow! Yo! I got the battle axe. I don't even know if it's good. It's not. It's not. It's another one. I have one already. Minotaurs don't have MP, that's why. Oh, well, I guess I could farm Minotaurs now very easily as a result of that. I mean, we can go to the right now. There we go. Skull Milione is such a funny mistranslation. Was there something called Skull Milione? What was the original attempted, you know, what is that supposed to be? Scarmiglione? So, which pizza shop does Scarmiglione own? How's his calzones? Also, isn't there an enemy from Final Fantasy IV called Scumbiglione? Potat Scumbiglia? Something like that? Someone said it sounds like a Sopranos name. You don't know what the Sopranos did to people here. Suddenly you had like 16-year-olds talking like Tony Soprano because, you know, they're obsessed with the mob because so there's some Staten Island mob scene back in the day, and also because they think that that's how you are cool. So hey, how you doing? Whoa, Calzo, what are you doing? It's fucking amazing. Back 20 years ago. All them years ago.
Listen, you do what you gotta do, but... Alright? We got business to do, okay? You're gonna trade Metal Gear Solid for Ocarina of Time, okay? Now don't scumbag me. This is important business.
It's just Mr. Plinkett as a mobster. But we really did have, like, you know, a lot of, I went to high school with a lot of kids who thought that they were gangsters. And that's why that Made in Staten Island show that's on TV now is like that. Because there is this stigma, not stigma, but there really is a stereotype that exists where, like, local Staten Islanders, that's like their, those are their role models. I don't know how I got that soul first try, but I'm very much okay with that. gonna be a Legion fight. I don't remember this, but this is... We have to get to the reunion. It's like the Dracula fireballs. Also, I'm using this fire sword because it's quicker. The other sword does more damage, though. It's amazing. It's amazing how, like, some of my body is warm and some of it's fucking freezing. It's like, why do you have to be like this weather? Maybe I'll just get that blanket again. This is gonna be like this tomorrow, too, so... Great. And here we go. Yep, Legion. Please remind me what was this, what this was called in Symphony again? Grand Falloon, right. There you go. Okay, I think I know a good soul for this fight. This is gonna be one of those fights. Okay. Gotta get the shell first, before you get the core. Otherwise you don't get the soul. Fucking did it. Was that a meat? I was also one hit away from accidentally killing the core. I think it was a baby cleat was in there. How many people hate the cleat emote? Press 1. Mods, keep note. Oh man, we gotta ban half the chat. You got this, Zito? Alright. Alright, well guess what? I think Cleat is the best emote we've ever had. Right up there with Doodle Dip. How's that for a controversial opinion? You like how we get one useful emote and then one absolutely useless, pointless emote? It's like, you get a good one, you get a Cleat. You get a Dr. Light, you get a Doodle Dip. Stop saying Cleat, please, I beg you. Alright, well think about this. If you were a baseball player, you'd be saying Cleat all the time. Because a cleat is a shoe with spikes at the bottom of it, which specifically is used to gain traction while you're running on the dirt and the grass. So the word cleat is a real word in the English language. I owned cleat. I had cleats when I was a kid. And you've just been to the information zone. Makes enemies leave behind more money when you wear this ring. Vinny has never played sports. You don't know that. I played baseball for 2 years. I did bowling for a couple of years. I played basketball. I ran. I didn't run track or anything. I just ran around. Bowling was more for fun. That's not exactly like the most physical sport, but you still have to like hurl a large, heavy ball down a lane with some precision. So I enjoyed it. But I did play baseball, and I played, not basketball. I wasn't on the team, but I played it, like, almost every day. Then you ended up streaming. I liked streaming better, actually. If you love a sport that's particularly rough on you, you have to stop doing it by the time you're like 40. Or if you're like into fighting, you'll be lucky if you even remember you like things by the time you're 40. Probably 30 to be honest, yeah. I guess it depends on the sport. Depends on how many fucking, like, hits you take to the head. So, but no, I enjoyed when I had that energy. I had energy and I was able to use it. In baseball is a lot of waiting around. It was boring, but I liked it for a while. And I tell you what, there were times when I was playing baseball where I was like, I wasn't really great at it, but there were times where I was like, hey, I would like to do this for the next 10 years. And then I didn't, because I didn't want to. But it was fun. Did you sit in outfield and get bored too? Yeah. And then I played second for a little while. Played second base. Wasn't really great at that. When I played baseball with my friends, I would often pitch the balls. And it turned out I wasn't terrible at that. But I was really inconsistent and did not take the time to learn how to pitch properly. There's Triton. Was I good at hitting? Not really, I was okay. It was kind of just like random. I couldn't, like, you couldn't tell me to hit the ball a certain place. I would just randomly hit it, and sometimes I get lucky. Hang on a minute. I want to show you guys something. This is totally unrelated, but there's a thing. So the person that is making the Final Fantasy IX HD stuff is improving even further. And when I say HD, I mean the machine learning. I know I'm a little obsessed with this, but I want to show you how much better it looks now. Like, this is a couple weeks of work. So this is the PSX version, right? Well, okay, so start with PSX again. I'd say the best thing to look at would be here. So you can see the pixeliness on the PlayStation version right around there. Okay, now, here's version 5, so you can see it's been smoothed out a bit. Everything's been smoothed out a bit. But then here's the version that he's working on now. Right here. Whoa, what the fuck? What the hell's wrong with this? Thanks, Imager. Very high quality service. I'm very impressed with your service there. Here's a better version. Okay. Okay, so here's version 0. This is the PlayStation version. Here's version 0.5. Here's 6. So between 5 and 6. Even just that little bit is pretty fucking nice. I mean, you know, you can see with the machine learning, it has its limitations. Like, it does its best to kind of figure out what this shit is, and the windows look a little smudged. But in a general sense, like, the fact that you go from this to this, not fucking bad. It does a really good job interpreting, like, curves, for example. The flowers look good. That plus some manual effort, too. Like, that's the other thing, too. It's not just the machine learning. I'm pretty sure they're doing some, like, manual, work. You know, like a little bit of sharpening, some contrast stuff. And then the other, piece to this is that there's, like, 360-something backgrounds in Final Fantasy IX. So, you know, each one of those backgrounds needs to go through the program and then be manually looked at. Which it would take Square about 3 days to do with a full team. But we have this one tenacious fan who's doing it from scratch, and someone else is doing it for Final Fantasy VII, and then I think work has started on Final Fantasy VIII. I wouldn't be surprised if Chrono Cross happens. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Dino Crisis happens. If there even is a version of Dino Crisis available for that to happen to. Parasite Eve. Any of these games with pre-rendered backgrounds are gonna start to look nice, or at least better. Cease and desist. I don't think that you can get cease and desisted for that. That's the same as, like, throwing a filter, like a texture filter. It's the same game. They're not making any money off of it. They're not changing or altering. I mean, I don't know. Square is very litigious. They took down that Chrono Resurrection thing, and they just fucking, like, stomped on it. But again, they're not distributing the game, they're just distributing a texture pack. It's like, if you want, you can download a mod. And once that's propagated, there's no way to stop that. Someone else is gonna do it. What are they gonna do? They're gonna, like, you know, find out if you're using it, and then, like, ban the consumer from playing their games? It's only, honestly, it's only a win-win for Square. I know that this isn't how Square would think of it necessarily, but it's only a win-win because if people see that the PC version of Final Fantasy IX has mods that make it look good, that maybe make it play a little bit better, maybe the people like me who held out on buying the PC versions of these games might actually buy them. So that's, in my opinion, that's just good business. Free business. And it's free advertisement, too, because now these games... The Final Fantasy IX texture pack has been featured on a bunch of, you know, news outlets, gaming news outlets. The only way I can see a cease and desist actually happening is if they... Hi, Dryad. Immunity to poison. It's okay, there's no, Nippelsons. It's Robertsons without the Nippelsons, so it's fine. If they want to do a remake themselves, which they'd have to do... The only way Final Fantasy IX would get a remake without them doing a whole thing from the ground up is if they remake the backgrounds themselves, or if they do the machine learning algorithm, or if they... Yeah, one of those two things. Before I go over there, I want to just check out this area right up here. Remake it in 3D. Well, that would be really nice, but Final Fantasy VII Remake is obviously just unheard of at the moment. Possibly in some kind of development hell. We're gonna get an announcement soon from Square, and they're gonna be like, Final Fantasy VII Remake was not living up to our expectations, which is why we have given it to Retro Studios in Austin, Texas. Oh shit, hey Hammer. I have some duplicates. Let me sell some duplicates. Let's see what's up. So I might buy that sword that he's got. Don't save for the ring? Oh, okay. Can I get the gun yet? Isn't the gun kind of nearby?
Okay?
How's Yoko doing? She looks like she's in a lot of pain. I see. Okay. Vinny, the marketing for Final Fantasy VII Remake will probably start soon now that Kingdom Hearts 3 has come out. That would be nice. In a perfect world, I believe you, and I think that you were correct, but I think that there's problems with that game's development. That's a very negative viewpoint, I am aware, but at the same time... It's just a gut feeling. I'm not basing it on anything other than the fact that we haven't seen much from it. And I feel like that would be a hard game to remake anyway, because it is so huge and they have like these really lofty expectations and goals for it, where they were thinking about releasing it in multiple parts, where each part would take a couple years to come out, and it would be $60 for each part. Like over 100 hours worth of game. So, you know, thinking about all that, taking that into consideration, I don't know. Holy Spear. Vinny, you should play Kingdom Hearts 3 even though you don't know the story. I think that would make it even better and nonsensical. No, I'm good. Also, do you realize how many people that's gonna piss off? If I start, like, you know, kind of making fun of, or not even making fun of, but just like, one, I don't want to do that, but two, I see where you're coming from, and I would be totally, completely lost. And that in and of itself would just enrage people, which I know some of you would love, but you know what? Maybe I don't like to be stressed out in that way. Enjoys eating the oddest things. I don't say ass, chat, please. I think I know what that means. It means that I can now eat like rotten meat. I know it has to be done here. Oh, there we go. Cool. Eversing. More defense, but slightly less everything else. So yeah, there's a gun in this game. I'll say this. I'm gonna give it to Iga and Konami for not turning this into Resident Evil 6 or like Gears of War, because they introduced a handgun into a Castlevania game. Because they could have gone that way, especially 10 years ago when that was the big thing. They could have made this like a marine shoot, like where you shoot Dracula's legions with like fucking high-powered weaponry, rifles. Easily. Isn't that just Devil May Cry? Yes, it is. Well, no, like a cover-based tactical, like Call of Duty-esque shooter. Also, you may notice the gun, as cool as it sounds, it's like, oh, you got a gun. At what cost? At the cost of damage and your sanity. I remember being so excited about getting the fucking handgun, because they tease it. I know we didn't see it earlier, but the area where I got it, you're actually supposed to get to, and you can check it out, and you're like, oh shit, there's a gun just there? And then, I remember when I first played this game, I was like, wait a minute, that's gonna be awesome. And then, finally, I got the gun, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna use this for 3 seconds. Was the gun in Dawn better? Well, there's a silver bullet variant. There's like a silver gun. I know that. First spirit is a demon from Hellfires. That's something I vaguely remember. A piece to a larger puzzle. So I think there's 3 books. Each book tells you how to... You know, each one has a spirit. You get all 3, you use all 3 in a specific area, and then something happens. I don't remember what. Was Wargroove liked by this Vinesauce guy? Yeah, I liked it. Someone in chat just said, very subtle, Dev. I can see it, like, they wear a false mustache behind the computer, even though I don't see them. They just want to pretend that they're not the developer of Wargroove. Like, they put on the false mustache and then they start typing. Also, the phrase false mustache is something that makes me very happy. I like it. Fake mustache is alright, but false mustache is even better. So there's just a boat here in Dracula's castle then. So much of this game I don't actually remember. Is this what I think it is? That... Flame Solias. Oh! So, okay, it's a holy sword. It's got super fast attack. It's got a wide range. It's amazing. So where's the Nova Skeleton? Someone just wrote, difficulty gone, MJ emote. Man, you know what's a good song? Dirty Diana. That song is fucking awesome. There's like a Michael Jackson cinematic universe with the weird noises that he makes. And like how each album he builds upon that and incorporates other noises. Claim Soleus does return in Dawn of Sorrow, but it got nerfed. Well, I don't remember it being as strong in Dawn of Sorrow, but I do remember there being a number of different weapons that were pretty viable for the end. Like, to me, that's ideal. By the end of a Castlevania game, you can use, like, say, 4 or 5 different weapons that are all different in their own way, but all powerful. Like, am I really gonna use this fucking sword? Sell? This is the money sword? Oh, right, okay, yeah, okay. I kind of somewhat remember this sword having that purpose, or a purpose. It's made of gold, and it's just, you just sell it. Vimplo, Jopples is abuse. Quality. Thanks for the tip. I just have, Castlevania games like this, there's an issue of trivializing the difficulty. This is something that is common, and obviously in Symphony they didn't know what the fuck they were doing because it was the first attempt. And it's... even if you're just punching, Symphony can still become really easy with the amount of leveling up you do. And, not too easy, but still easier than some other games. And, eventually they got it. Portrait of Ruin felt like a good difficulty balance. This is a little on the easier side, but still kind of challenging. And I guess the thing is, when you can approach an open world game, or not open world, but when you can approach a Metroidvania in a way where you can go around to different areas out of order, you end up one-shotting things like that gargoyle. You know what I mean? Like, there are definitely gaps. And then, of course, if you decide to level up and you explore and you end up finding some broken-ass equipment, yeah, you can definitely trivialize the game, which is why I think, like, in some ways, having a level-up system isn't even really necessary. Like, different weapons, sure, but... Does Vinny not like trivia? What does that mean? Do I have to add that to the collection? Oh, trivializing. Oh, I see. I see what you did there. Yeah, does Vinny... How hard are we yachting tonight? Oh, right, that's where the gun was. Yeah, Mark Brown did a really good video about the different types of roguelikes, which I think applies to this a little bit. So you have, like, you know, the roguelike and the roguelite, blah blah blah, whatever. Then you have, in there, you have, like, this thing where you can have progression that carries over, which leads to a broken difficulty curve. Or you can do a game where progression does not carry over, like The Binding of Isaac, or Spelunky, where every run is fresh. But then there's games like Rogue Legacy, where every time you die, you can upgrade. So eventually, if you're persistent enough, you don't know if you're winning at the game because you upgraded enough, or you got better at it. Whereas a game like Spelunky, if you win at Spelunky, you just straight up got good at it. Dead Cells is one of the games that he references as being, you know, you bring back progress between each run, which is good. I like that. I like that you feel like you're making progress. Like Everspace has the same thing, but the upgrades are kind of subtle. Where every run, you know, you're a little bit more powerful, but not enough that it breaks the game. And I enjoy that. I'd argue that there's a bit of upgrading that happens in Isaac, like the D6. Yeah, it's true. It's true. The D6 and, just unlocking some of the more powerful items that might randomly show up in your playthrough. I've hated the trend of the broken difficulty curve in roguelikes. I thought Everspace was really bad about it. The ships are damn near unplayable without upgrades. Here's the thing. I see where you're coming from. I think if you're really good at Everspace, you can still make progress with like a busted ship or an unupgraded ship. And then you can just get a fuckload of money and then upgrade it all at once. Like if you can make it to like Area 5. But the real issue with Everspace is weapon slots. And like, you know, being able to carry 2 types of missile and upgrading that so that you can have like 4 types of missile. That's really helpful for a game like Everspace. For those that haven't played it, yeah, I kind of agree. Some of the upgrades do feel more necessary. But then you have upgrades that are so minuscule, like some of the speed of the ships. There's an upgrade where, you know, you increase your shield, and it's like very minor, and it gets really expensive. Elfin Robe, this is probably trash by now. Also, now I'm like at this point of power where I've collected godly equipment, and I'm going back to areas I missed and just collecting like stuff that's kind of trashy. This sword looks cool. Shame I didn't get it earlier. I do miss the combos from Symphony. I said that in a previous stream of this, but I definitely liked being able to do like a Hadouken with a sword, and it does different things. Vinny, a group of video game intellectuals gathered years ago, T9, to discuss the definition of what a roguelike is, and they all came to a specific conclusion, but people still toss the name around like candy. The problem is, most people haven't seen that. I don't know what you're talking about. And I know there's different classifications. Roguelite, roguelite, roguish. But people stick to things that, you know, is comfortable for them, and they're gonna call it the thing that they want to call it. Souls-like, whatever. Like, this is how, like, definitions and words change over time as well. I don't know what video game intellectuals mean. I don't mean to, like... if I'm coming across poorly, I apologize, but I'm gonna say I don't know what you mean when you say video game intellectual. Like, I didn't realize there was a council of elders to, like, change the title of a genre, because I haven't gotten that memo, and I'm pretty, you know, I'm pretty up to date, and if I'm not, people correct me on a daily basis. Trust me, I can't get away with saying the wrong thing for more than 3 seconds. They're wizards. Like, I can see it's like Jeff Keighley, Shigeru Miyamoto, Hideo Kojima, Peter Molyneux, Todd Howard, Sid Meier, because that's a name I know. Tom Clancy, he's in a right? Tom Clancy, he's not even alive anymore, but he's there in spirit. Tony Hawk is there. Will Wright. But let's be real for a second. The definition of roguelike is it's like the game Rogue. And if you look at the game Rogue, it's very much not like a lot of the stuff we're calling roguelikes. Which is why Roguelite was brought about, and even that doesn't do a great job at explaining a lot of stuff. So, I mean, you know, it's kind of difficult to classify a genre of game. And then I get shit for calling walking simulators games. So I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to call those. Interactive entertainment? Experiences? I don't know. Why do people care? People care about lots of things. People care about things. Why do people care about some things and not other things? Or why do they care more about things that have nothing to do with their lives? I don't know. I listened to Professor Brian Cox talk about, like, the beginnings and end of the universe, and, you know, like, why are we here on this planet? And I was like... And then I thought to myself, man, it would be really great if we had a better classification for the genre of game that I've been playing for the past couple years since Isaac. It's just that there are a few roguelike devs that follow the definition to a T, while others slap the name on anything with permadeath and randomization. Yeah, I mean, you're right. They do. I mean, without issuing regulations and having, like, an overseeing elder council like I described before, I think that's going to happen for a while. I think it's a very confusing thing. It's something that caught on, and, you know, is going to probably continue to stay that way for quite a while. Vinny, would you say that Isaac ignited the resurgence of roguelike-ish games? When... I mean, I'm not the foremost authority on all this stuff, but I can tell you that when Binding of Isaac came out, I hadn't really played a whole lot like that. I remember I'd played Spelunky, and this is before the remake of Spelunky, and I really liked it. I got very addicted to it. But at the same time, Spelunky is the same in many respects. Like, it is such a skill-based thing. And the permadeath thing with Spelunky was cool, I liked it, but it was also very frustrating. But when Isaac came out, some runs would be, like, really broken and amazing and different. Every run felt different because of the combinations. And I remember getting so fucking addicted to that game that people were complaining I was streaming it too much. So that was the thing that was happening. And so yeah, I remember that game really being like kind of a turning point. And then more people would make games like that, and now it's a huge thing. But yeah, I'd say Isaac definitely opened the floodgates. But, you know, for me, I think Dead Cells is probably my current favorite still of that thing, that ilk, let's say. I think it does it better than almost any of the other ones because it is still skill-based heavily, but it's mitigated through some of the unlocks, but not to the point where you're just, you know, you just defeat the game in you know, in a flash. Like, I still have never completed Dead Cells, and I do plan on coming back to it. I got close a couple times, but it's so fucking difficult. But continuing to unlock more options and, you know, more powers and also upgrading the potion, it's great. I mean, it makes me want to keep playing. It keeps me coming back, but it doesn't trivialize the difficulty. And I don't have anything against trivia. I like trivia night sometimes. So, you know, this sword, there are similar swords to this. This one doesn't really do anything special. It's kind of no point. Do you think Sephiroth would swing his blade overhead like this? Whoa, is that an Oblivion rune? Ancient Book 3. So we got 1 and 3. Third Spirit is a beautiful nightmare. Okay, so I don't know what that is. That's a clue about what I will eventually need. I know there's like a soul in this game that makes you go really, really, really fast, and that would be very helpful for this exploration stuff. Some people are saying you checked the wrong ring. Increases the rate at which MP is restored. That's actually useful. Throw that on. Cool boat. just there. It's just there, it just does that. Why not? Vinny, in case you were curious, the sword is pronounced Cleave Soleish. Yeah, this is a discussion we had in a previous Castlevania stream where I got the same weapon, and it was like, you have to pronounce it like a Welsh person says the name of their town. And I just can't do that. I forget it every time, too. Milliken sword. Looks sticky. So I've been looking for this one, I'm gonna go back to food for a second. I've been looking for this one particular item at Trader Joe's that they just don't have every time I'm there so far. Which has only been twice, but it's chimichurri rice. Has anyone had their chimichurri rice? And if so, is it worth asking a manager about? Or a worker? Well, chimichurri is a specific sauce, and there's like a place that I go to that has chimichurri steak. It's fucking amazing. Their frozen brown rice is pretty good. They rotate items all the time, totally reasonable to ask. Chili verde burritos, get them, they're fucking nuts. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I don't really like a lot of their stuff, to be honest. Like, I bought these weird fruit roll-ups that are made with real fruit. I was like, wait a minute, what is this shit? Real fruit. And then it was pretty good, actually. But I did get... Okay, there was one that was gross. And I tried it. It was like... Don't ask why I got it. It was like $1. It was like mango grape dots. And I was like, alright, I want to try this. So I bought it. And it's like they're fruit dots stuck to a thin piece of like tissue paper, like wax paper. And they look like pepperoni. Cool fish. They look like pepperoni. And you like take it off the paper and pop them in your mouth. That sounds gross, but you know what? Yeah, those aren't good. The actual, like, fake fruit roll-ups are fine. These were really weird. And they kind of had a bit of an aftertaste. But I thought I accidentally bought pepperoni. Same fucking color, same shape, same size. I was like, no, I don't want this. Get their dark chocolate peanut butter cups. I thought if I went to Trader Joe's, I would, like, the hipsters would win. I'm joking, obviously, but I'm just saying. We can't have that happen. And then again, like, you know, I'm going to the supermarket, and I'm, like, getting sick of the same shit, and then I hear that their frozen stuff was good. And it's quality. It's been really good so far. But if I want, like, a Pop-Tart, and I do like a Pop-Tart, I can't get that there. And, you know, if I want toilet paper and paper towels that aren't made of, like, fucking mulch, then I'm probably gonna have to go someplace else. dude, check out our mulch toilet paper. Well, what did you put in this? It's just earth. It's like dirt. Yeah, you can wipe your butt with, like, leaves. But no, I'm really pleased with my decision to go there. It's nice. The 2 times I did, I didn't have a shopping cart either. I just kind of, you know, grabbed like a basket. I was able to get everything I wanted in the basket. I got a strawberry lemonade fizzy drink. It's like a thin bubbles, lightly carbonated, and not bad. Sponsorship when? So, you know, listen, I'm doing well enough that I don't need to do sponsorships at all, like ever, which is great. I'm really happy about that. But I found out that there are a number of YouTubers or streamers that actually don't do video game sponsorships in any way, shape, or form. Like, they'll do, like, Dollar Shave Club, like, you know, like fucking ass wipes made of mulch, but they won't do, any video game stuff. Because I think that poisons the well. I really do believe that if you do a video game sponsorship, you can lose the trust of your audience pretty easily. Which is evidenced by how, you know, how people don't even, like, if they just show up to the stream and they're, like, sponsored, I'm like, listen. Really, dude? And again, I've always said this, I'm not here to criticize people's hustle. If you got a way that you want to conduct your business and it works for you, I don't give a shit, do what you gotta do. I think that's great. I just know it doesn't work for me. But, you know, some people have said that they will do sponsorships for unrelated things, like, you know, toilet paper, glasses, a bed. How do you feel about the Twitch bounty system? I've never used it, so I couldn't really tell you how I feel about it, but I don't criticize it. I think it's a good way for people to be able to stream and make some, you know, make a living off of it. I think that's cool. I also think that it depends on what the game says that you can say about it, because I think from what I understand, each bounty has stipulations. So, like, if there's a stipulation where you can't say anything negative about the game, which I don't think they would do, then fuck that. But if they're saying, you know, don't say unnecessary shit about it, I think that's fair. Like, if you're gonna say this game is so bad that it makes me want to fucking puke all over my dick and then punch a baby, that's how bad the game is, then I think the company's probably right to maybe refuse giving you a key again. But if you say, you know what, there are aspects of this game that are okay, I don't like it, I don't like that it's so slow, I don't like the voice acting, I don't like the character design, I don't like the writing, you know, but I do like this, I like the gameplay, I like this. I think that's fair. And if they allow for something like that, then I think, yeah, that's cool. But unfortunately, in my experience, and the type of guy I am, I don't think I could do it. I'll take a key, and if I burn a bridge, that's fine, I'll deal with that. I can buy my own games, it's not a problem. Vinny, that sounded like a jab at Wargroove. It's not, though, because I actually really liked Wargroove. Sure, the voice acting was, like, not that great, but at the same time, it did not detract from the core of what the game was. Vinny, you realize how arbitrary and easily abused this scenario is, right? What do you mean, the bounty system, or what do you mean? Bounty system, the company gets to decide where the line is. Hang on a second, my audio's cutting out. Well, it's worked so far. I don't think I've heard any, like, big drama from the bounty system. I feel like it's in check, more or less. I mean, picture this. If there's a bounty that says you can't talk bad about this game, you can't say anything negative about it, that's gonna be all over the internet, and that company's gonna be laughed at. Check this out. Okay, you do a bounty, right? The game is clearly not good. You play it, your friends play it, reviewers play it, the game sucks. And then that streamer that you like plays it and is like, oh, this game is fantastic. Wow, I really like this game. Asshole Simulator is fucking amazing. I'm gonna continue to play Asshole Simulator. Are you gonna watch that streamer again? Then that's on you. Maybe you're making bad choices if that streamer is, you know, obviously, not being true to themselves, like Christ wanted us to be. Asshole Stimulator is my game of the year. Someone just wrote in chat, Vinny with Nintendo games. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. Okay, I'll take that jab. I'll take that jab. If I get too defensive and try to explain myself, however, you know, it's not gonna be good. So I have to just take it. I just have to accept it. But you know, the truth is I don't like everything Nintendo puts out. I know. And there are some series from them I won't even buy. If you can believe that. Paper Mario. I'm done with whatever they're putting out with Paper Mario. Yoshi's New Island was Which is the one with the terrible kazoos? The new Super Mario Brothers series, I won't go back to. Mario Tennis was pretty fucking broken when it first came out. I had to struggle to play through the single player, but I wanted to get it done, and then I didn't play any of the multiplayer. Mario Party desperately needs new maps. And they still refuse to do any online. I mean, I could go on. There's plenty of examples. Yeah, ARMS is... Well, ARMS was fine for a while. I liked ARMS, but it wasn't enough to keep me coming back. It wasn't like Smash quality. It was just a decent new idea, you know? For $60. Also, Nintendo charging full price for their Mario, new Super Mario game is ridiculous. I'm really happy that they decided to stop trying to take down my YouTube channel and other people's YouTube channels. I think that was a big move for them, but I hated them for a long fucking time. I've said this before, but picture your favorite thing from when you were growing up. The thing that got you through tough times. The thing that, when life was hard, made you feel a little bit better. You could always count on, like, a good Nintendo game to make you feel better. You know, like, you really establish an emotional connection. What are you emotionally connected to, chat? Kingdom Hearts? You know, what movie, what games, what, you know, there's a million things that you could be. What did you form a bond with when life was tough? Now picture that thing trying to take you down because you corrupted their video games and made other people laugh. Now imagine going back and forth with a lawyer from that specific thing, and you feeling like a bad guy, like a villain, for years, even though you've supported and bought games and spent countless thousands of dollars on their products. So no, I mean, you can say whatever you want, you can believe whatever you want about me, Nintendrone or not. I can call a spade, but that's any company. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you make, I don't care what you do. Just do the right thing, goddammit. That's how you feel about Battlefield right now? Vinny, did you actually have to go through talking with a lawyer? I don't like to go into the full details of it because I didn't want it to be a big shitstorm, but since Nintendo is now releasing their claims, and they've been a lot better, like because of Smash coming out, and they get rid of their bullshit ambassador program. Yeah, yes. Yeah, a couple years ago. It was bad. I was actually afraid to play Nintendo games for a while, too, because I felt like I was getting punished, because all the videos were getting claimed, you know, strikes here and there. It was just like a mess, but I don't know what the hell changed, but thank God for that. Nintendo watched the He Thick series and realized they had to change their ways. I think they saw the He Thick series and they realized that they needed to compete. That nothing they were producing was as of the same caliber as He Thick. Jesus, lubricant, please. Oh, that's a hell of an enemy right there. Look at this thing. Look at this fucking thing. What is it? Stolas. That's amazing. Vinny, did you ever watch the Castlevania show, the anime on Netflix? Yes, I love it. It actually made me extremely emotional. Weirdly enough. You're gonna have a debate with some chat members over whether or not that's anime, so go have fun with that. Just gonna go ahead and avoid that with a 10-foot pole. The debate is anime is an art style, and then the other part of the debate is it wasn't made in Japan, so it's not anime. So, I mean, yeah, you guys have fun with that, like I said. Vinny, we have to ask the anime intellectuals first. We need a meeting of the elders. At least that's a question we can get an answer to, maybe. If we're lucky. But, you know, we'll never know what we're doing on this planet. This is actually an excellent weapon. Love it. Satan's ring. Yeah. Satan himself once wore this ring. Oh, you don't say. Vinny, do you think the 3DS is worth getting now if I never had one? I don't know. I mean, I think so. It depends on what you're gonna play. If you're only gonna play 2 games on it, then no. But I don't know if Nintendo ever plans on bringing those games over to anything else, and emulation for 3DS isn't perfect. Yeah, I mean overclock 3, exactly. But anyway, yeah, I think, I don't know, that's up to you. I can tell you that any of the Zelda games on the 3DS, I really liked. The remakes for the N64 games were good in their own way. I liked Link Between Worlds a lot. Mario 3D Land was fun. Kid Icarus Uprising, if you want to go that far back, I think is great. You can get, yeah, Animal Crossing New Leaf is just a game that you can play forever. Fire Emblem Awakening I really loved. There's Pokemans on there. I mean, so, yeah, if you can get a cheap one or a used one, maybe there's stuff that you can enjoy on it. Or maybe just wait a couple more years and see what happens. Switch is new handheld, maybe? Well, yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Obviously, the Switch is what Nintendo's doing now with their handheld division. They've merged, and it's been, you know, obviously very successful for them. But I just don't know if we're gonna see those. As great as the Switch is, it doesn't have some of the games that made the 3DS worth owning on it. And I don't know if there's gonna be like a 3DS Virtual Console or whatever. Or a virtual... There won't be. There won't be. So... In other news, the PlayStation Classic is just sitting on store shelves. And Sony's like, wait a minute, we thought a $90 piece of hardware would sell really well just because the Sony PlayStation brand name is on it. Did that say in lid jump? Perform a high jump by pressing L in lid jump. How about this? How about we all say something nice about Sony? Because I want to take the piss out of them, but I want to try to be a more positive person because it makes me feel better. They have good exclusives. Uncharted is a great series. They make good TVs. Sony hates in titty games. What? PS2 was great. The Walkman was nice. Alright, I actually like to take back everything I just said about being positive. Essentially what I'm saying is that their PS Classic was a pretty big failure. What are you doing? I want to get this thing sold. Well, here's a good thing about Sony. They don't allow crossplay because they're clearly they offer the best of the best. You don't need to go anywhere else. That's not necessarily a positive. Sony has, in quotations, great security. Oh wait, didn't they get hacked on a number of occasions? And millions of people's email addresses were leaked and stuff? This is hard. Well, they're really good at doing business with third-party developers to get exclusives on their consoles. That's my compliment. I grew up having an intense emotional attachment to games like Final Fantasy and Metal Gear Solid and Medal of Honor and what else? Other things. Twisted Metal. Vinny, I'm pretty sure this is a max rarity soul, so it takes a while. What is it? Is there, like, any reason for me to be doing this? Is the soul any good? The soul sucks. It's a good soul, but you don't need it. Alright. Okay. 5 more. Well, I've leveled up to a point now where I think Dracula is going to be like kind of a breeze. Alright, well, hey, it was nice to be able to kill that enemy in one hit that many times. That was kind of cool. Alright. We're at 95.7%. Chat, you have to remind me, is there another castle in this? Or... like, I know there's a true ending. No, but you need Flame Demon? I have Flame Demon, I believe. So there's not much left in this game. There is a Chaos Dimension. Shit. Well, now it's almost like 3:30. So... so how much is left then? Maybe like, what, 20 minutes, a half hour? More than that? An hour? A full stream? Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I will stop here. And, one shorter stream. Okay, I'll stop here and then we'll do a thorough stream of this and finish it. And then whatever else is on the docket will just get extra attention. It's not a long game. Order of Ecclesia is like 10 hours. This is like 6, you know? What game do you have planned after this? I'll be honest, I don't know. I'm feeling some of the classic stuff, but I don't know. I'm not doing Subnautica until the expansion's fully released. How classic? I thought about the original Wario Land. Like Wario Land 1. Because I like that one. It's the only one I ever finished and ever played fully. Play Secret of Evermore again. Let's see how long that game is. 15 hours for the main story, 32 hours for the extras. I don't know. Think about it. Like I said, I don't want like a game that's going to take 40, 50 hours because Red Dead just destroyed my soul. But we're still going to do Resident Evil. We're going to do Claire's story. So that's coming up. But, alright, so anyway, that's Castlevania. We're really, really, really right at the end with this. And, I mean, it's going to be a short stream, but I'd rather that than, you know, go until like 4:30 tonight. There's a million, you know, there's a million games that I've both love and have played before. And there's a million games that I haven't played. And I know that people want me to play every game ever. You know, I've gotten requests for everything. So I won't ever make anyone happy. I'll just have to make one person happy, and that's me. So the next game I stream, whatever it will be, I'm hoping I'll enjoy it, and then others will enjoy it as well. So, yeah. But I'm open to suggestions if you want to tweet some suggestions at me. Don't email them to me, just tweet them to me. That would be much better.